Hi everybody, my name is Kathleen Baber and I'm coming at you today with a three-part series that I've been kind of thinking about over in my mind for a little while, and decided to split it up into three so it wouldn't be quite so long. And you know, different people are at different stages in their kind of planning discovery and journey, and I wanted to be able to kind of break it up so that if you're at the very beginning and you're absolutely wondering what is going on and what are all these terms, then you can start here with this video, which is going to be an introduction to the planning community jargon. Then the next one is going to be why I chose the planner that I chose. And then the third one is going to be about how to avoid being overwhelmed. And so let's get started. Oh, like I said, my name is Kathleen Baber. I am the owner-operator of Apricot Tree Planning. I have been in existence as an Etsy shop for a little over 2 years, and I've been in the planner community almost 3 years, not quite 3 years, but like 2.5 or so. I have always been a planner. I really enjoy it. Let me show you something real quick that I found the other day. Okay, so my husband and I were cleaning out a storage area and came across my old Franklin Covey planner stuff. Oh, is this not... And I saved it because it had some things written in it that were kind of fun. But this is how I used to plan, like in a 6-ring binder. This was a really cute one, the shoebox. And this was like way before there was tons of stickers and stuff for it. So I used to just kind of use a lot of colored pencils and stuff like that. And it was really fun to find this and go through it. The weekly thing wasn't really a thing. You either had a monthly or a daily for a long time in the planner community, and the weekly has kind of been this new format that a lot of people have gravitated to, because maybe you're not so busy that you need a daily, but you're busy enough that a monthly looks like this. A big old mess. So anyhow, this was back in 2000. Wow. Yeah, really old. So anyhow, that's how I used to plan. And then I went all digital for a long time, and then, like I said, about 2.5 years ago, I stumbled upon a video about bullet journaling, which intrigued me, which led me to looking for some other things, and that kind of had me stumble upon the Happy Planner and the Erin Condren Planner and all of these things that were really confusing at first, and I had to really kind of snoop around, and I found that yes, there's this wonderful planner community, but they have their own language. So I wanted to demystify that to some new planners, because New Year brings new people into our group, and it's fun. So EC stands for Erin Condren. So when you look at things like on Etsy or Facebook groups and things like that, and you see the initials EC, they are referring to the Erin Condren Life Planner. That planner comes in a vertical and a horizontal version, and I'll show you an example here in a minute of a knockoff. It's not a true Erin Condren. I have never purchased one. Erin Condren planners can be purchased online, and they are fairly pricey. They start at like $55 and kind of go up from there. There is a knockoff called Recollections. That's a Michaels brand, very, very similar in size and format. This is an older one that I was using just to take measurements to plan out my sticker kits and such, but the big craze with this type of planner, this is a vertical, and so all your days are vertical columns, and then you have 3 rows that you can divide up your tasks or the times of day, or however you like to use. That's a fun thing about this format of planning, is it's very customizable. Most folks that I see usually devote one row to doing their to-do list, another row is purely decorative, and then a third row is kind of the events of the day that need to happen. You could also have, instead of doing decorative, you could do one row that use a box here to just be your journal for the day, how things went and stuff. So anyway, that's kind of, this is kind of sort of an Erin Condren, but it's not. It's a knockoff. And it's way less money. So anyhow, they are spiral bound. That's one of the features of the Erin Condren. Also, you can take off the covers and you can customize the covers. So HP is another one that you'll hear, and that stands for Happy Planner. It also stands for Harry Potter and Hewlett Packard. So depending on the context of who you're talking with and what about, it can stand for a number of things. But it's by Mambi, a lot of people call it, or Mambi, and that stands for Me and My Big Ideas, is the name of their company. And all of their planner things are on this Create 365 line. They started out as a scrapbook sticker company. They still do scrapbook stickers and a lot of other fun things, and they've just been in the craft stores a long time. They have a very similar layout, but things are kind of, let me show you on this, kind of apportioned differently, as far as it's still the same concept of the vertical lines and the 3 rows. But as you can see, these boxes are bigger. They don't have a little divide between each of the columns, and they don't have a notes section at the bottom of the page. So that's some of the fundamentals, and it's a disc system. So that's one of the main differences between Me and My Big Ideas, or Happy Planners, and Erin Condren planners, is how they are bound. Okay, then there, with the Happy Planner, there are 3 sizes. That's the classic that I just showed you there. That's what I use. That comes in a vertical or a horizontal. Let me show you an example of what I mean when I say horizontal here in just a second. They also have some specialized ones for fitness and for recipes. Then there's a big Happy Planner, and it is the size of a regular sheet of paper. So the actual papers inside are 8.5 by 11. This is one I had last year, and I tried to use it for business, and I just didn't do it. Just didn't work out for me. So unfortunately, this one is just, now I just use it for sizing and stuff. But anyhow, that's what the big one looks like. And then there is a mini Happy Planner, which a lot of folks love because it is very portable. It will fit in your purse quite easily. And I did use this in my purse for quite a while. Now, this is an example of a horizontal layout. When you go to the week that you're in, see if I can find a blank one, then your whole day is on the horizon. You're not in the columns. They do have one now that is in a column, but I've heard, as much as people wanted it, now that they're in it, they're just finding it a little too small for them. Again, these are still on the discs. All their versions are, which for me makes it nice because I can buy any one of these sizes and know I can kind of adapt it to work in whatever I'm using at the time. They have a fitness one in that's a vertical in this size as well. But like I said, a lot of people love this one because it fits so well in a purse. And they have smaller rings than this. I think I just swapped these out. It makes it a little easier to fold when the rings are closer to the size of how much stuff you got. So they've got bigger rings and smaller rings. And now they have metal rings, which make them even smaller or even smoother. You can get Happy Planners in the stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobby's, Joann's, sometimes even Walmart. Walmart has a knockoff brand of Happy Planner as well. You can buy them online at some different places like the meandmybigideas.com, and scrapbook.com also carries them. Quite a bit less money than the other, than Erin Condren. They start at like $30. You can get them on sale, oh gosh, pretty much every other week you're going to find them on sale either at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Good Coupon, or at Joann's. You always have like a 40% off you can use. At Hobby Lobby you always have a 40% off. So yeah, you're not going to pay $55 for a Happy Planner. Alright, so now let's jump into TNs. So TN stands for Traveler's Notebook, and one of the brands that first came out was called Midori. So you might see things referred to as a Midori or a faux dory. And a TN is a really cool concept. It is very customizable because you choose what you're going to put in it. This is a TN from the 1407 planners. And so basically it's two parts. There's the cover and then there's the inserts. And so, and then there are multiple sizes. We'll kind of go over that. This is a B6. And so inside I decide how many little inserts or little booklets I want to carry, and they all kind of ride on these little straps. So this TN has 4, so I can have 4 to 6 booklets pretty easily in this guy. So just wanted to show you that. They come in sizes. A5 is like a half sheet size. Like if I were to take this piece of paper and fold it, that's the size of an A5. B6 is basically a 5x7 is the size of the sheet. A6 is a little bit smaller. There's one called a standard, and this one you can kind of find. This is a standard. This is a Webster's Pages. And so it's like taller and skinnier. So, I find it an awkward size. I really wish that I could love this size, but I just don't. I just don't. I've tried so hard to love it because it is a lot more available as far as being in the stores. The other things I almost always find them online. I don't find B6, even though it's a super popular size. I don't find it in the stores very often. There's also a pocket, which is even smaller. I have a pocket somewhere, but I didn't bring it out for this video. But mostly you'll find these things online. And I'll give you guys some ideas of where there's just tons and tons of inserts. And so when you start to shop for the inserts, you can really customize your planner to be exactly what you want. Do you want it to have shopping lists? Do you want it to have meal planning? Do you want it to track your fitness? Do you just want a monthly calendar and not a weekly or a daily calendar in there? Do you want just some notebooks? A lot of people use traveler's notebooks for journaling. That's how it got its name. It was a travel journal. They stuck little bits and scraps of stuff from along their journeys and wrapped it all up in a pretty piece of leather. And I think that, at least in my mind, that's the story of how it all got started. So anyway, traveler's notebooks, you can go from very inexpensive to really pricey. This was about $30. I got it like at half off at Joann's when they were carrying Webster Pages. But you can get really pricey if you go with some of the beautiful all leather ones like from Foxy Fix or Chic Sparrow or what have you. So anyway, there's just a big range in prices. And the inserts, you can go, they're kind of all over the board too. There's a lot of them that are buy the download and print it off yourself and assemble it yourself. And then there's several that are really good companies that do a beautiful job on lovely, lovely paper. And of course that's a little more expensive because you're paying for the shipping and for the cost of the goods. So that's the word on traveler's notebooks. Okay. Let's see. There's a couple things that I forgot to write down, and I don't want to forget them when we go to do the wrap up. So then there are ring planners, and these of course have been around forever, like my Franklin Covey. Usually we had like 6 ring binders, you know, where they had 6 punches and stuff. They're still around. They still come in multiple sizes. This is an A5. It's a big one. So this is where the pages are, you know, basically a half sheet. This was one that I was using last year, and then I just decided not to anymore. I can't remember the name of the company. It's just escaping me. I want to say Carpe Diem. Anyhow, this is an A5. It's got the 6 rings. It's fairly large. It's great, especially like if you're a business person who's going to carry that around in your tote bag or your briefcase. This is a personal size A5, or not A5, but rings. This is just a little one from Michael's, very inexpensive. I think they start at 20, but these are on sale all the time at half off. So very customizable again, because you can decide where you want to get your inserts from, which if you want to specialize in them, you can find ones that you can download. Very customizable. Again, they kind of come in all sorts of sizes, A5, B6, A6, personal. They're all over the place. I would say personal is probably the one I see most often in the planner community, but there's lots of people who love A5, who like that really big, they just want it to sit on their desk, or they have tons that they're writing down and they're toting it around. But you can buy these online, you can buy them in the stores, you can buy a lot of them like at the office stores and stuff too. That's a very traditional planner. Alrighty, so let me jump in here. I'm going to add 2 things to my list so I don't forget. Okay, so sometimes you'll see on different social media the term top game, and that refers to the top of your planner. And I don't think it's as big a thing as it was when I first, you know, a while back, but it's having the cute little things that tuck out of the top of your planner. So I just had this little bow, but a lot of people have little dividers, or they'll have little puffy bows, or little round, little felted pieces of wool and stuff. And so anyway, that's the top game, is the top of your planner and how it looks when it's all folded up. Washi cards are, shoot, I should have grabbed one of those. Washi cards are just a hard piece of plastic with washi samples wrapped around them, and sometimes folks kind of trade those. You know, they'll get a really fancy bit of washi and they want to share it with friends. An ollie clip, I have several of those in here. They are a magnetic clip that is very strong, and it holds on itself, so it doesn't wrinkle your paper at all, doesn't mar it, doesn't leave a mark. And so the magnet is in the little teardrop sections, and then it's held together by this nice lamination, and it can hold a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a strong magnet. That is a lot of stuff there. And it's still holding on to each other. Anyway, so ollie clips are really fun, especially if you want to like page mark where you are. So TPS stands for the Planner Society, and this is a very popular subscription box, and I probably just spelled that wrong. I before E except after C, and I don't know. I messed that up. So anyway, it's a subscription service, and it used to be monthly, and now it's every 2 months. They have a lot of things for setting up a planner decoratively. Pretty papers, little special extra things, stamps and clips, and anyway, very popular. And they have a couple of different styles and ways that you can purchase it. You may see, if you're looking around on YouTube, people doing unboxings where they'll get their subscription and they'll reveal it via YouTube. SPC is Scribble Print Co. And they are a very popular sticker company. I believe she's still just on Etsy. I don't know if she switched over to Spotify, but she was one of the first to come out with sticker kits and ombre heart checklists, and she still does beautiful, beautiful work. She has several people who work for her, some who do some of the drawings, and anyhow, very popular and well known in the sticker community. So the 1407 is another really popular company. She's on Shopify. Natasha Corrigan, I hope I'm saying her last name right or remembering it right. But anyway, it's called the 1407 Planners, I think. And they just do traveler's notebooks. So they do inserts. They also have pretty covers. They've also started a new company that has kind of like in-home parties where you can see the items before you're purchasing them. Beautiful covers. Really, really love their stuff. And they're here in Ohio. I've met them a couple of times now, and just a really great company. EDC stands for Everyday Carry. And that means this is the planner that you take with you everywhere, that you put in your purse and it goes with you. That's what my B6 is. And Bujo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, stands for Bullet Journal. And bullet journaling is kind of how I got into the whole planner community. A video came up on YouTube, and I wasn't really one who surfed YouTube a lot, but it came up about bullet journaling, and I was intrigued and watched a bunch more and kind of got excited about it. And then I was like, but how could I make that easier and more simplified? And that's when I started looking at stamps and things like that, and it led me into the Happy Planner world. But a bullet journal is essentially a journal that you can use as a planner, and you just you don't worry about sectioning things off. You just say, okay, my spread, my weekly layout for this week is on this page, and then you just index that. And you might move your little bookmark to it. But my monthly spread is 5 pages ahead, and I have 3 other things in between. You know, I've got notes from this meeting, and I've got, you know, a to-do list from, you know, Cub Scouts or what have you. So you just kind of keep going as you go, and you just index things so that at the front of the journal, you open it up and you say, oh, I'm going to go to this spot. So I kind of sort of do that with my Sunday notebook. I don't really keep it a calendar in it. So a lot of times, this one's really small. This wouldn't really, but a lot of times people use these dotted grids, and I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera or not. But the idea with the dotted grid is that you have something to help you make some nice straight lines, and then you draw out things however you want. And there are some fabulous people who do this drawing, and they draw out their weekly planner every week, and they draw out their monthly every month. And I just decided for myself that was a little too labor intensive. But what I do for my Sunday one is I take Sunday notes, and then I just kind of put in lots of little doodles. I'll throw in a piece of washi tape to kind of separate the weeks, and I hang it over the edge. So this is my nod to bullet journal, but really it's just a doodle journal. See, you can see here I tried to do my contents, but no, that is not been kept up. But I enjoy it because I do write in it very often. I kind of take my little sermon notes there, and then any meetings that I have to go to for leadership and stuff, I do that as well. Alrighty, guys, I think that, oh, resources. We're just about done with this part of the series. And that is that there are lots of online resources, lots of things to go and see and do and search and get opinions on and see pictures of. So Facebook groups are really fun to me because you can ask a ton of questions there. There are some groups that are more friendly than others as far as newbie questions, and I would say seek out those groups. There are some groups that are really fun to just kind of lurk, and I don't know, just kind of get the feel for the group before you jump in with both feet, because I've seen some people really kind of get their feelings hurt, and I kind of hate that. So there's PGW is Planners Gone Wild, and this is a huge group. There's like over 65,000 I think in the group. Some people are super active in it. The group itself is very active. There's lots of NPR, non-planner related posts in there. People who are struggling with one thing or another, and they'll post about that, and it's very supportive in a lot of things. There are some very opinionated folks in there, and I personally don't share my political views, but you can be very sure about some other people's political views. So anyhow, it's an interesting group, and most of them are really, really sweet, but every once in a while people do get their feelings hurt, and you'll see commenting turned off and things like that. Some of it's snarky, and most of it is just in good fun. Then there's PWM, which is Planners with Manners, and I think that one probably grew out of the need that some people felt like maybe a little less snark, maybe just a little more friendly. So not that Planners Gone Wild isn't friendly, because I can see that there's some really close relationships in there, but Planners with Manners is a little more censored, a little less willing to put out controversial things and stuff. And there are tons of other groups, so I would say once you know what planner you're going to use, do a search for, you know, Happy Planner group or Erin Condren groups, or groups that are local to you. I'm in Ohio. We have a very local group. We have a Central Ohio group. They're generally not as active, but they can be, and you can meet some local friends who are into planning, and that's really fun. Instagram is another, a lot of folks will just start a planner Instagram account because the Instagram thing is so much fun, and if you search like any of these hashtags, you're gonna find lots of people on those, and lots of photos. People photo what they bought, they photo what their planner looks like. People follow each other on that, and then once you start following people, you'll also get like suggestions for other hashtags to follow and stuff. And so this is a really fun way to make some connections. And then of course you guys have found me on YouTube, so that's awesome. There are tons of YouTube videos out there, lots and lots of great information. One of my favorites is Tiffany Klein of Cardboard Couture. Really love her videos. Nikki Plus 3 is another one. There's another Nikki that I can't remember what her handle is, but if you just start doing some searches for Plan With Me, you're gonna find a lot of people out there, and it's a really fun way to learn about how to use the products, how to make your planner look as pretty as you want, or just even finding your own vibe.